I wonder, what if BMW developed the Nissan Skyline? The following is an alternative history retelling, so get yourself an alternative tea and settle in. In the late 1980s, BMW found themselves facing a dilemma. The market for sports cars was becoming increasingly competitive, and BMW needed to develop something truly unique to stand out from the likes of Porsche and rapidly advancing technology in Japan.
When we first started on the BMW Skyline, we spent a lot of time looking at what the Japanese were doing with their 300ZX project and Celica Supra.
The idea of developing a car in secret came up, and a small team of engineers and designers were assigned to a project that would become the BMW Skyline. Hans Müller was the lead engineer, who was pulled from the BMW M3 project to head up the Skyline. The vehicle's exterior design took cues from the recently launched E30 series, but flipped the conventional design backwards so that the round headlights were transposed onto the back of the car in what they called an afterburner style. The body itself was taken from their upcoming M3 Sport Evo, but molded into a sleek shape for a lower drag coefficient. However, despite the design being critically acclaimed, it wasn't the design that wrote headlines. One of the key elements of the Skyline M was the engine. Müller wanted to create a high-performance engine that could outdo the competition while retaining BMW's historic inline six-cylinder layout. They decided to utilize BMW's new variable valve timing technology, which was still in its early stages of development, and combine it with a twin-turbo system of forced induction. The team spent countless hours fine-tuning the engine, running into constant issues between the two conflicting systems. However, in an early prototype version of the engine, codenamed B26, the team was able to achieve over 300 horsepower in dyno testing and using new computer software to account for the conflicting turbo and variable valve timing technologies. The power figures were widely celebrated, surpassing their initial expectations, but real-world testing presented another challenge: traction. Müller reportedly got into heated conflicts with Wolfgang, the lead drivetrain specialist. The two engineers couldn't agree on the best way to deal with the lack of traction. No matter what they tried, the rear wheels would slip and compromise the driving experience. Seeing the success of Audi and Subaru in recent rallying competitions, Müller had asked to fast-track the development of BMW's all-wheel drive system called xDrive. Wolfgang was adamant that the car should remain rear-wheel drive, staying true to the formula that BMW was known for. Managers were brought in to mediate, but they were also concerned that moving to an all-wheel drive system would dilute the driving experience and potentially damage the brand, especially if the project failed. Müller argued that the driving experience would suffer more with traction issues, and that the large investment in the B26 engine would go to waste if the power couldn't be used effectively. Eventually, Wolfgang and the senior management team decided to move ahead with the traditional rear-wheel drive layout, but reduce engine output and torque electronically to reduce traction issues. The changes brought initial power readings down to 265 horsepower, causing Müller to threaten leaving the project. However, Müller wasn't done yet. He had poured too much of himself into the project to let it go, so he started working on a solution in secret. In August of 1987, Müller convinced one of his colleagues in the quality assurance team to mark one of the testing units as faulty, moving an engine, gearbox and differential from the development plant into storage for diagnosis. Müller started working on the unit in his spare time after work and on weekends when the plant was covered only by a skeleton staff. He took a prototype xDrive system and implemented it on the unit, then moved it on frame to get a running test vehicle. After several months of personal testing and pretending that the vehicle was still rear-wheel drive, he asked the management team if he could demonstrate a new spoiler design on the testing track, asking Wolfgang to drive the control vehicle as a comparison. Müller beat Wolfgang easily, consistently running 15% faster speeds per lap. When they eventually stopped the race, he revealed that the speed was due to the xDrive system. After much discussion, the team agreed to move forward with xDrive, and the car was put into production 6 months later.
Yeah, nobody believed me that xDrive was the solution. We were so rooted in our history that we couldn't see ways to solve old problems.
Upon release, the BMW Skyline quickly became a media sensation, with its powerful engine and advanced xDrive system drawing widespread acclaim. But BMW enthusiasts criticized the move from rear-wheel drive, citing that BMW had sold out chasing better numbers while giving up the purity of a rear-wheel drive setup. The biggest issue, however, was price. The BMW Skyline needed a premium price tag to justify the amalgamation of technology used, and initial sales were low. It wasn't until the M division started to use xDrive that enthusiasts looked back at the Skyline in a different light, driving up the value as second-hand collectors' cars. Looking back, it's clear that Muller's decision to develop the xDrive version in secret was a risky one, but it ultimately paid off in a big way, giving the brand a convincing reason to move towards all-wheel drive and ushering in a new product line that continued for decades, with newer BMW Skylines being created, including the now famous B34 Coupe, which briefly held the world record for the fastest quarter mile in a road production vehicle. The success of the BMW Skyline ended up causing a divide between the new products and the existing M division. Within 7 years, the M division was disestablished. This also caused a larger market gap between BMW and Porsche, who then became known as the go-to brand for a pure rear-wheel drive experience, something that BMW used to be known for prior to the BMW Skyline. This has been an alternative motoring history. What do you think would have happened if BMW developed the Nissan Skyline? Let me know in the comments or tell me what other alternative car histories you'd like to hear retold. If you want to hear more, please consider liking and subscribing. Cheerio.